So I wanted to go over this real quick. The Lieutenant Colonel Alan West reacts to outpouring of support after motorcycle crash. I am so blessed. I will have this linked in the description. This is insane. This is insane. So let's get into it. I'll just let him play. It's 5 minutes long, and then I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about it. But look at the face change. I mean, he had facial injuries. So
Florida Congressman Lieutenant Colonel Alan West says he's lucky to be alive after a serious motorcycle accident in Texas. West was cut off by a car, sending him crashing into another motorcyclist at 75 miles an hour. He suffered a concussion and fractured bones. Here with an update on how he's doing as he recovers in home. In his first TV interview since the accident is Lieutenant Colonel Alan West himself. So, Colonel, rather than get a reporter to cover your story, do you mind covering your own story for us?
Sure, Brian, and good morning to everyone. And first of all, I'd like to give condolences to my former colleague and also fellow Texan, Sam Johnson. His passing away. Sam just lives about 20 minutes away from me in Plano. You know, it was, we were coming back up from a rally in Austin, Texas, a Open Up Texas, Free Texas rally. And I want to tell all the motorcyclists out there, no matter how hot it is, wear your personal protection equipment. I made the decision that it was 96 degrees to not put my jacket back on and my gloves, but I had my boots, jeans, and helmet. We're traveling north on I-35. We had just gone through the town of West Texas. I think that's pretty funny. In a center lane, there were four of us on the motorcycles, and I got cut off in the center lane, and so I did a controlled slow down, and the motorcycle behind me clipped me, and my bike went out from under me and skidded, and of course I lost a lot of skin. I never lost consciousness, and I just want to thank the first people that were on the scene. One was a doctor, another nurse, another EMT specialist. And there was a young black lady that was there who really did a great job talking me through it and not allowing me to, you know, just allowing me to stay calm. But a lot of great health professionals down there, Baylor, Scott, and White, that took care of me Saturday and Sunday. I was released Monday, came back home here in Garland, Texas, and just going to continue to recover. And yesterday I got in a nice little 2-mile walk.
Yeah, I saw you tweeted that out. Colonel, you even told me on radio you feel like you're lucky to be alive. 75 miles an hour, you fly off your bike. You got a lot of road burn along the way, and you were conscious the whole time. You're used to being in tough conditions. You've served over 20 years in the military. Your dad was in World War II. Your older brother in Vietnam. You are a tough guy by nature. But, man, this had to hurt.
Yeah, this was very painful. I will tell you that without a doubt, I'm so blessed from the Lord God Almighty, because not too many people are going to survive a motorcycle accident on an interstate going 75 miles per hour. The worst part of it was when I was laying there waiting for the medevac, the ambulance and everything to come in. The pavement was just absolutely, you know, steaming hot. And you know, with all the skin that was taken off my arms felt like they were on fire. But again, thanks to the people that were there on the scene early who, you know, kept talking to me and, you know, got me to, you know, stay calm and everything. But right. This pushed my toughness to the edge, Brian. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Colonel, among the people that reached out to you right away, I know Governor Huckabee is one. The other is the President of the United States. When he got word, he tweeted out, "Alan, get well soon." And that wasn't the only one. What is it like seeing this type of outpouring of caring for you and knowing you have so much love and support?
I got to tell you, it's just incredible. And I remember when Angela read me the president's tweet there, and I was in the hospital room in Waco. It brought tears to my eyes. And, you know, to come out of the hospital on Monday, Memorial Day, and to have all of those people there just clapping and cheering, is just incredible. And I think I still have about 130 text messages, a whole bunch of emails. So everybody, I'm going to try to get to you. It may take me a little while because I don't have too much use of my fingers and everything. But it's incredible, Brian. And that's what's great about America, is that people just respect and honor you for being who you are.
No, that's what's great about you. You're a sensational person who's given back his entire life, not only to people, but to your country. Even joined the National Guard again after getting out of the military, serving in the military from 82 to 2004. And now you're running for Texas GOP. And after one day, you're back on social media. The next day, you're on radio. Now you're on television. Nothing can keep Colonel West down. Colonel, thanks so much for sharing your story with us. And we're so glad you're okay.
Thanks so much, Brian, and God bless, and thanks to everyone that have lifted me up in prayer.
All right. So I wanted to bring that up because this is typically what he wears. So you saw those facial injuries, you saw the arm injuries, you saw all that stuff, and it's typically road rash. It sounds like he had it said he had a concussion. He didn't lose consciousness. I mean, let's go ahead and pause that real quick. If I scroll down here, it says, okay, so he never lost consciousness. He's suffering a concussion and fractured bones. Okay, so you have the impact injuries. So we go back to this photo right here. Like I said, I don't know if this is exactly what he was wearing when he was doing it, but what typically happens is that if you are used to wearing something, you're going to wear that. So you see those facial injuries. So this is a half helmet that he's wearing. It's not going to protect your face. It's not going to protect the sides of your face. It's not going to protect the back of your head. It's just going to protect the tops of your head. And when we talk about motorcycle injuries, especially with helmets and where the impacts are, that is going to be mostly on the face. It's one reason why I did jump from a 3/4 helmet to a full face helmet when I had that Bell Custom 500. I went to the Bell Bullet TT. So also take a quick look. He said that he didn't have gloves on. He took his gloves off. He took his jacket off. More than likely, he was typically wearing a vest like this. These vests do not offer any protection. Those jeans do not offer any protection. Those boots maybe will offer some protection, but I mean, I don't know what type of gloves those are. At the end of the day, this is not enough to prepare yourself for a crash. Now, when it comes to the crashes, guys, remember that the whole point of the Smart Rider system is to utilize every single section of it. Is, the smart part, the S, is going to be seeking out and recognizing hazardous situations. The M is maintaining your fundamental skills. A is acquiring personal protective equipment. And then R is to rescue other riders. T is teaching and mentoring. But the R, one thing I wanted to pick up with the rescuing of other riders, he said that there was other people on scene right away, an EMT, a nurse, all these different things. Thank you for the donation, man. I really appreciate it. The thing is, he got clipped by somebody else because somebody in front of him stopped. So they're riding with a group about 4-ish people, and the person, vehicle in front, stopped. He applied the brakes. He did a gradual slowdown. Somebody behind him wasn't paying attention, possibly white stage. We talked about all that stuff. Make sure you're in yellow stage all the time while riding. Go into orange stage when you start seeing all these different factors, these different patterns in traffic. And especially if you're riding within a group, you don't want to ride, in a group mentality. You want to ride your own ride. It just so happens you're in a group. So the person behind him caused the accident, but we don't have control of all external forces. So once again, with the Smart Rider system, we need to acquire personal protective equipment. We need to acquire good personal protective equipment. You saw those types of injuries on the interstate going to gradual slowdown. Somebody hit him 75 miles an hour. Very lucky to be alive. You saw the facial trauma, the discoloration in the pigment in the skin. That is just different layers of the skin. You have road rash. So he's got road rash all over his face. He's lucky to have his face still. And then he's got broken bones and then tons of road rash all over his arms. You probably wonder why. So it can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. I don't know how long he's been riding. It could have been 20, 30 years since he's been riding, and this is the first real big incident that he's had. It can happen at any point in time. And like he said, it's getting hot out. It's getting really warm out, and I made the choice not to wear my stuff. Guys, get good mesh gear. Get summer gear. I'm going to do a video on summer riding because you know what? I don't want to see this ever with any of my crew members. So guys, pay attention, wear your gear. Don't use excuses of it's too hot. Make sure you're riding your own ride. Ride with a group of people. Keep them involved. Keep them in yellow stage. Hey, point out some stuff. Hey, car's slowing down in front of me. Get a Bluetooth system. It's a lot easier with a full face helmet. Guys, pay attention, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be focusing on paying attention and then making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So let's get started with the live stream.